Capricorn. Welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. Capricorn, I'm doing your mid-August 2024 reading. It's a general reading. And we're going to be doing Carol's check-in. And so we're going to start off by looking at a pattern that is showing up right now for healing. And patterns, there's lots of patterns that show up in our life. And it's a universe's way of kind of saying, look, take a look at this. It's what needs healing right now that's coming up from your shadow. And oftentimes our ego self will step in and create stories in our head to tell us, why we shouldn't look at this and tell us that, it's not a pattern, we're imagining it. And sometimes we can blame ourselves for this pattern showing up. And so patterns can show up for all different reasons and all different relationships. And like I said, there's something that's sitting in our shadow that's driving or having the impact on this pattern that's showing up. And it's something that needs healing. And our shadow is, those things we repress about ourselves from childhood or adolescence. And so we're going to be doing some shadow work in part 2. And if you're unfamiliar with shadow work, then I will leave a video for you in my description box called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Healing, to Shadow Work. And it's all about facing your own shadow, and it's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And so you can have a look at that if you're interested in that. And then finally, in the third part of this reading, we're going to be looking at, we're going to ask the tarot for some guidance as to how you can start beginning to heal this. And this is what's most important, right? And I'm saying beginning because it's not like something that's going to happen like this. This journey is a process, but there's a little step here that we can take, and I'm going to help you with that. The tarot will help you, and then I will help you, and I will suggest a video from my other YouTube channel, Carol Cares, that's really more specific to what you're dealing with here. It might be emotion you have to work out, maybe some journaling or some grounding help for you because it is a healing channel. And so let's begin with the Tarot Grand Lux right here. And then I'm going to clarify that with the Tarot of the Abyss. And I did pre-shuffle these before we came on. But yeah, I have one more announcement to make, and it's a happy announcement for me and maybe for you. But I am offering personal readings for you right now at a 10% discount. And until September 1st, it's the first time I'm offering them on this channel because it is a young channel. It's 8 months old. So, some of you have been asking for them, and so I put it out there for you. And I have the link in the comments. I have the link in the description box. And I also have a little video, 2-minute video I put out for you the other day. You can look at that if you want more information about my readings and the readings that you've seen on this channel before. So let's ask the tarot right now for one card for what pattern is showing up for you, Capricorn, right now, the end of August, for you to heal. Tarot's quick in getting that out for you. It's the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. Tough card to begin with. What aspect from your shadow is driving this pattern right here? One card, please. The 3 of Coins, which is the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles. And what advice does the tarot have for you to begin to heal this pattern? And you have the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands. The battle of the ego. So, battle of the egos. Let's clarify that with the Tarot of the Abyss. And here's the 9 of Wands here. So can you tell me more, Tarot, about this? Let's go with 3 cards for this one. And a couple more cards that want to spit out here. And there we go. Okay, so you got, for the 9 of Wands, you have the Sun in reverse, the Devil card, and the 5 of Swords, and You do have another 5 on the table. Tell me more about the 3 of coins here. It's 3 of pentacles. 3 cards for that. And get one more card here for you. There we go. Okay, 6 of Cups. So you got the Death card, the Strength card, and the 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups. And the 5 of Wands. Can you tell me more, please, about this one? So for the 5 of Wands, you got the Page of Swords in reverse, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse, the 6 of Wands, been coming out quite often in this today in the readings. King of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so let's begin with the pattern that's showing up for you, Capricorn. We start off with the 3 of Wands, and so, the 9 of Wands, and tough card right here. Pattern is here, like, I mean, this is somebody that's very much, the word overwhelmed is coming up right here. It's tough. This journey's tough. This channel's about healing, right? So, you know, and this card tells me that you've been through some stuff. You've been healing a lot. And I often read comments, different places, not just my channel, but other places where, you know, I've been through so much. I'm done healing. I'm fed up. I've healed so much. And yeah, so this kind of reminds me of those comments where you're sitting here going, you know, like, is this going to get better? Because I'm kind of tired right now. Yeah, kind of fed up, tired, overwhelmed. I mean, look at him. He's almost at the, you know, the 10 of Wands, where you're just carrying all these burdens, right? It's like how much more do I have to take? How much more do I have to take? And this is a pattern that's come up before, and it just does you in, you know? And so what's the clarifiers here for this? And you have the Sun card here, and in an upright position, the sun is about pure joy. If you think of you know, kids playing and how they're just full of joy, pure joy. Well, there is no joy in your life. I mean, there's a real resistance. You can't see it. You're just not seeing it. There's absolutely no joy. And sometimes we feel like it's just like, you know, when we've gone through something and we think, okay, I'm starting to see some light here, and something else comes up, and something else comes up, and it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, I just got through this, and then this is coming up again for me to heal. And so that, yeah, like, it takes the joy out of your life for sure, and you just have a hard time seeing the joy in anything. And the Devil card comes here, and the Devil card is definitely a card of someone that's completely tied up, completely controlled by, what is the devil? Well, the devil talks about, like, look at the heart and how it's just, you know, this person is tied up and can't get to the heart, can't get to the joy, the love. And the Devil card talks about, you know, the attachments that we have in our life. And so I'm wondering here if you're starting to, or I mean, how do I say this? I mean, it's about it's about our addictions, right? It's about, you know, numbing out our pain. And I'm guilty as the next person, and I don't want to use the word guilty because, you know, life can get really, really hard. And when this keeps on coming up like this and we don't feel the joy, well, we turn to things to numb out our pain. And so for me, when this card comes up, because it's a healing journey, it's not something I'm going to say, you know, you got to quit this, you got to stop this. Well, I mean, you know, easier said than done. And my biggest addiction is eating. And it's always been my number one addiction, and I'm cross addicted. So I have other addictions that would come in, go, and come in and go. And I remember at one point during the therapy the intense therapy that I've been on for the last 7.5 years, I said to at the beginning of of this intense therapy for my own complex trauma, I said, well, what about my eating? Like, what about my eating? And it was almost like something that my own therapist was not telling me to, well, you got to give it up. You got to keep it in check. It was something that, believe it or not, organically healed. Not, I mean, completely, but it's something that is not anywhere near where I was. I mean, you have to eat, right? But I know that when I eat now, when I'm stuffing things down my throat, there's something coming up and I'm aware of it. And so this card comes up when the tarot universe wants to say, let's bring awareness to how you are numbing this because it's coming up again. This feeling of overwhelm and can't handle this anymore, and just like, where's the joy in life, right? Just being done almost. And so here's the Devil card coming in for you to bring some awareness to how you are numbing your pain. Five of Swords comes in, and the Five of Swords is what I call my bullying card. You look at this, this individual, in this young individual, and he or she's representing the bully in this picture here, and they're the bully, and the victim here is the butterfly, because at any particular time, this individual, they can prick this butterfly and end their life. And so I look at this card from the point of the butterfly, and how they're the victim, and how, they must be so full of shame, because this individual right here, for them to feel that they can end this person's life right here, or this butterfly's life, they have a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame in this card. This is my shame card. I look at it from the perspective of the victim. And so you have a lot of shame that you're dealing with. This shame is coming up for you again. And it's beating you down. And you're feeling very, very unworthy. To the point where, if you had to do journaling, you would probably journal from, I feel like a piece of shit. I feel like I don't matter. I feel like no one cares. And this is coming up again for you to deal with. And so where is this coming from? Where is this shame coming from? Well, you have the Three of Pentacles here, Three of Coins, and you have this individual that's, working away at something, a project, and this is in your shadow now, right? So this is something that's coming up that's repressed from your childhood, your adolescence. When this comes up, this is Three of Pentacles is a card of co-creation, working together with someone, working on a project. But it's a card of feeling supported by people around you and validated. And so, it's going to talk about how, you weren't supported and you weren't validated. And so it talks about the support and the validation that you had when you're younger. You had this Death card come in right after it to explain the Three of Coins. And the Death card really is a card of, when it's not in your shadow, it's a card of this whole thing of walking away, like from, sometimes you need to let things go in your life and walk away from certain people in order for something to come and grow here. But because it's in your shadow here, when you were younger, there was somebody or someone or something that somebody walked away from you. And there's some abandonment here because you don't feel supported. So people were not there for you, whether it was a question of people walking away from you, maybe your parents separated, maybe you weren't in touch with one of your parents, and that would have caused you, when a significant person in your life when you were younger walked away from you or wasn't there when to support you and make you feel like you mattered, that's going to leave you with a hell of a lot of shame and unworthiness here. And so the healing that needs to be done is sitting here in your shadow when somebody walked away from you and wasn't there to support you. And the strength card comes in here, sitting in your shadow. And the strength card is not something like, well, you have you have the inner strength to deal with this. The strength card comes in to tell us that as a child, you did not have the power, the strength in you, the capability to deal with these huge emotions that came from people not supporting you and walking away from you. That would have brought up so much shame, so much grief, and maybe some anger and some hopelessness. Those are huge, big emotions that adults can't even handle. And we, as a child, Capricorn, didn't have the strength to handle this. And so what happens when you're a child and you have these big emotions that come up because of these big events, these big traumatic events that happened to you when you were a child? Well, where do they go? What happens to them? Well, you split off. You have parts in you that hold these emotions. They're called our inner children. And here's the inner child card. The 6 of Cups that comes in. That's my inner child card. You have an inner child here that is holding all of these heavy, and there could be more than one inner child. We have more than one inner child. I know mainstream psychology likes to say we just have one. But I've been on this healing journey for a while to know that I have more than one inner child that holds these big emotions that I have to deal with now as an adult. I need to feel them now because they couldn't feel them when they were younger. And this is what's happening here. You have inner children that are holding these big emotions of grief and shame and, like I said, loneliness even. And it's coming up for you again. Maybe this is a card of loneliness, anger, loneliness, fear, shame, grief. That these big emotions are coming up for you again. And it does feel like, obviously the joy isn't there, but it just feels like they're taking over your life again. And there's a part of you that's numbing this out because they're painful. They were painful you were as a child. And same thing coming up now. But as an adult, here's the difference. You couldn't handle this when you were a child. You couldn't do it. But you can do it now. You can do it now. So how are you going to heal this? What advice does the tarot have for you? You have the 5 of Wands here. And the 5 of Wands in an upright position talks about the battle of the egos. These individuals that are comparing their wands with each other. And when you start to compare yourself to other people, you can really feel less than, right? Your ego can make you feel really less than sometimes. And this is the card of unworthiness. This is the card of unworthiness here. And the tarot wants you to look at, we're going to heal this. We need to heal your unworthiness. This is the shame card, because there's a lot of grief behind this. And this is what the universe wants you to heal, Capricorn. You have the Page of Swords here. And here's our first page in the deck. We talked about inner children here. Pages in my deck are inner children. And this specific one is in reverse. It's blocked because it needs healing. It needs you to listen to them. It needs you to hear them out. And it's the one that carries the sword. It's the one that carries your truth, your authenticity. It's the one that knows who the hell you are buried under all that shame that was given to you when you were younger. And it's the younger child that has to heal. It's your inner child that needs to heal. It's in reverse. The Four of Pentacles comes out here. Well, the universe wants you to heal this card. Here's the Four of Pentacles. And in an upright position, this is the card called, I'm blanking out, but it's an attachment card. It's the miser. It's a miser card of holding on to someone that's holding on to their attachments, right? Maybe you are someone. Maybe you are someone that hoards. People don't often realize that if we are a hoarder, I don't know why it just came up, but that is our attachment. That's our shame that we've collected. You know, we're collecting all these things, and so the universe wants you to. And you know, we did talk about not being supported and someone walking away from you, and you know that would create abandonment issues and attachment issues. And this is what the universe wants you to heal, are these attachment issues, these abandonment issues. And that's going to come through, you know, healing your shame. And the Six of Wands comes, and the Six of Wands speaks about, it looks on the outside, this looks like this prima donna has just done this beautiful dance, and you know, all these accolades are coming towards her, and she's feeling this victory. But this is a 6 in my deck, and it has a duality to it. All my 6s do. And so underneath, you know, I'm going to say underneath that stage is what she's lost. What needs to be grieved. There's some grief here. We talked about that. And so there's real grief here that needs to come forward. There's a real loss here for you that you need to grieve. And the King of Pentacles will come out. Of course, the King comes out. The King in my deck is the masculine side of us. We all have a masculine side and we all have a feminine side. And in here, your feminine side hasn't come out here, but your King has come out here. And this is your ego self. And our ego self will come in here, like I said at the beginning, with patterns. Our ego self is in reverse, and in an upright position. And the King of Pentacles is the one about, talks about, the pentacle itself talks about our self-worth. The pentacle itself is our body. It's our physical body. It's about getting grounded. And so this ego self will come out and prevent you and block you from getting back in your body, because that's how you're going to start to feel this shame and get in touch with these inner children that need to heal. Because when you're sitting here in this Nine of Wands, it's a very painful position to be in, and you're very much up in your head with this one. Especially when you're numbing out. I can see that you're numbing out in the beginning here with your addictions. It really keeps us up in our head where our ego self wants us to stay. I mean, you did have the battle of the egos here, the Five of Wands that you this is the ego card. Will keep you right up in your head, because that way it prevents you from feeling the shame that you need to feel. And so we need to be aware how the ego self is keeping you stuck up in your head and does not want you to go back in your body where all your emotions are, where you've stored this painful stuff when you were a child. And so I want to leave you with a playlist, just a couple of videos on how to ground yourself, how to get out of your head, how to ground your mind, first of all, and then ground yourself and get back into your body, Capricorn. And that's a hard one, because we humans don't want to go back into our body. We forgot. And that's where the feminine side is. This is where the feminine is. The feminine is our body. She's where all our emotions are. And we're going to feel there. And so I'm going to leave you with some grounding videos. I take you out into my backyard and I feel. I teach you how to ground, and I do it in my backyard. So I'll leave you with grounding videos. I'll also leave you with your August 2024 reading. And I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through here. It looks like you're going through some really tough stuff here, Capricorn. And I want you to stay safe, be safe, get yourself safe, and have compassion for yourself for what you're working through, because this is a tough journey. And but it's the most important one of your life. And so I will talk to you in September, Capricorn. Bye-bye.